Old Master refers to any painter of skill who worked in Europe before about 1800, or a painting by such an artist. An Old Master print is an original print made by an artist in the same period. Likewise, an Old Master drawing. In theory, an Old Master should be an artist who was fully trained, was a master of his local artists' guild, and worked independently. But in practice, paintings considered to be produced by pupils to workshops will be included in the scope of the term. Therefore, beyond a certain level of competence, date rather than quality is the criterion for using the term. Period covered. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the term often had a starting date of perhaps 1450 or 1470, paintings made before that were primitives, but this distinction is no longer made. The original OED from the beginning of the 20th century defines the term as a master who lived before the period accounted modern, chiefly applied to painters from the 13th to the 16th of 17th century. Rather surprisingly, the first quotation they give is from a popular encyclopedia of 1840, as a painter of animals. Edwin Landseer far surpasses any of the old masters. There are comparable terms in Dutch, French and German. The Dutch may have been the first to make use of the term in the 18th century, when it mostly meant painters of the Dutch golden age of the previous century. Les Maîtres d'Art or Trefoil of 1876 by Eugène Fromentin may have helped to popularize the concept, although vieux maîtres is also used in French. The famous collection in Dresden at the Gemäldegalerie Altemeister is one of the few museums to include the term in its actual name, although many more use it in the title of departments or sections. The collection in the Dresden Museum essentially stops at the Baroque period. The end date is necessarily vague. Goya is certainly an Old Master, and he was still painting and printmaking at his death in 1828. For example, the term might be used, but usually is not, about John Constable or Eugene Delacroix. The term tends to be avoided by art historians as too vague, especially when discussing paintings. Although the terms Old Master prints and Old Master drawings are still used, it remains more current in the art trade. Auction houses still usually divide the sales between, for example, Old Master paintings, 19th century paintings, and modern paintings. Christie's defines the term as ranging from the 14th to the early 19th century. Anonymous artists, most often from early periods, whose hand has been identified by art historians but to whom no identity can be confidently attached, are often given names by art historians such as Master E. Est, Master of Flemel, Master of Mary of Burgundy, Master of Latin 757, Master of the Brunswick Diptych, and Master of Schloss Liechtenstein. Incomplete list of the most important Old Masters. Gothic, Proto-Renaissance Cimabue frescoes in the Basilica of San Francesco d'Assisi. Giotto di Bondone, first Renaissance fresco painter. Duccio Sienese painter. Simone Martini, Gothic painter of the Sienese school. Jean Pucelle, manuscript illuminator, miniaturist painter. Ambrogio Lorenzetti, Gothic painter. Pietro Lorenzetti, Sienese school. Gentile da Fabriano, international Gothic painter. Lorenzo Monaco, international Gothic style. Marcelino Goldsmith, trained painter. Limbour Brothers, manuscript illuminators for John, Duke of Berry. Pisanello, international Gothic painter and medalist. Sasetta Sienese, international Gothic painter. Jean Fouquet brought Renaissance art to France. Early Renaissance Filippo Brunelleschi, architect who initiated the new style. Lorenzo Ghiberti, Florentine sculptor. Donatello, important sculptor. Paolo Uccello, schematic use of foreshortening. Fra Angelico, noted for San Marco convent frescoes. Masaccio Florentine painter, Leon Battista Alberti Genovese architect and theoretician, Fra Filippo Lippi father of Filippino, Andrea del Castagno, Piero della Francesca painter who pioneered linear perspective, Benozzo Gozzoli, Ileso Baldo Venetti, Vincenzo Foppa, Antonello da Messina painter who pioneered oil painting, Cosimo Tura, Andrea Mantegna master of perspective and detail, Antonio Pollaiuolo, Francesco Cosso, Melozzo da Forlì, Luca Signorelli, Donato Bramante famous architect, Perugino, Verrocchio, Sandro Botticelli great Florentine master, Domenico Ghirlandaio prolific Florentine fresco painter, High Renaissance Francesco Francia, Leonardo da Vinci acclaimed oil painter and draftsman, Pinturicchio, Filippino Lippi son of Filippo, Cima da Conegliano, Lorenzo Costa, Piero di Cosimo, Fra Bartolomeo, Mariotto Albertinelli, Michelangelo acclaimed sculptor, painter and architect, Bernardino Luini, Marcantonio Raimondi, Raphael acclaimed painter, Il Garofalo, Rodolfo Ghirlandaio, Andrea del Sarto, Correggio Parma painter noted for illusionistic frescoes and altarpiece oils, Giulio Romano, Venetian painting Renaissance Domenico Veneziano, Jacopo Bellini, Gentile Bellini noted for historical scenes of Venice and portraits of its doges, Giovanni Bellini pioneer of luminous oil painting, Bartolomeo Vivarini, Carlo Crivelli, Alvise Vivarini, the Vittor Carpaccio, Giorgione pioneer of Venetian school of painting, Titian important Renaissance exponent of color painting in oils and frescoes, Palma Vecchio, Lorenzo Lotto, Sebastiano del Piombo, Jacopo Sansovino, Jacopo Bassano Mannerist painter noted for portraiture and religious genre painting, Jacopo Tintoretto major Venetian painter of monumental religious works, Paolo Veronese one of Venice's leading colorists, Sienese school Giovanni di Paolo, Matteo di Giovanni, Francesco di Giorgio, Sodoma, Beccafiume, Northern Renaissance Robert Campin Northern Renaissance artist who painted Merode altarpiece, Jan van Eyck pioneer oil painter, Hans Mulcher, Stefan Lochner German painter of the Cologne school, Konrad Witz, Roger van der Weyden Dutch artist and leading religious panel painter, Petrus Christus, Dirk Bouts, Hans Pledenwolf, Simon Marmion, Meister Frank, Hans Memling Flemish artist of the Bruges school, Martin Schongauer, Lucas Moser, Michael Woolgamid, Michael Packer, Hugo van der Goes oil painter from the Netherlands, Roland Fruoff the Elder, Weistos, Hieronymus Bosch one of the greatest of all medieval painters, Nicholas Froment, Gerard David, Georgen Totzint-Jans, Hans Holbein the Elder, Quentin Massis, Jan Mabuse, Matthias Grunewald noted for his intense expressionist religious paintings, Albrecht Dürer greatest painter and printmaker of the Northern Renaissance, Lucas Cranach the Elder leading German Renaissance painter, Hans Bergmer, Jean Chloé, Jörg Bru, Albrecht Altdorfer Danube School of Painting, Maitre de Moulins, Hausbook Master, Leonhard Beck, Hans Baldung Green German Renaissance artist, Joachim Platini pioneer landscape painter of the Netherlandish Renaissance, Jean Duvet, Jules van Cleve, Bernard van Orley, Hans Springing Clay, Wolf Huber, Lucas van Leyden, Jan van Schaal, Hans Holbein the Younger one of the greatest portrait painters, Georg Pentz, Sebald Beham, Barthel Beham, Lucas Cranach the Younger, Peter Bruegel the Elder leading Flemish artist of his day, Egidijus Sadala, Spanish Bartolomé Bermejo, Alonso Barraget, Luis de Morales, Alonso Sanchez Coelho, El Greco, Juan Bautista Meno, Giuseppe de Ribera, Alonso Cano, Francisco de Zurbarán, Diego Velázquez, Juan Bautista Martínez del Mazo, Juan Carreno de Miranda, Bartolomé Esteban Murillo, Francisco Beuy Subias, Francisco Goya, Mannerism Dosso Dossi, Domenico Campagnola, Alfonso Lombardi, Bartolomeo Bandinelli, Pontormo Florentine Fresco, Oil Painter, Rosso Fiorentino, Martin van Heemskerk, Alessandro Moretto, Giulio Clovio, Niccolo Tribolo, Benvenuto Cellini, Parmigianino Mannerist painter etcher from Parma, Angelo Bronzino, Jacob Seisneger, Peter Ertzen, François Cloet, Giorgio Vasari, known for his lives of the most excellent painters, sculptors, and architects, Antonio Moro, Giovanni Battista Moroni, Federico Baracci, Giuseppe Arcimboldo, best known for his bizarre Mannerist fruit and vegetable portraits, Giambologna, hugely influential Mannerist sculptor, Denis Calvert, El Greco, noted for his dazzling spiritual works and portraits, Scipione Pulzone, Bartholomew Spranger, Karel van Mander, Giovanni Pietro de Pomis, best known for his late Mannerist work in Graz, Austria, Abraham Lohmet, Joachim W.T.E. Whale, Adam Elsheimer, influential German landscape and history painter who influenced Rubens, Baroque painting Jacopo Chiumenti, Giovanni Battista Paggi, Antonio Tempesta, Lodovico Carieschi, Bartolomeo Cesi, Alessandro Maganza, Bernardo Castello, Agostino Carieschi, Lodovico Sigilli, Bartolomeo Carducci, Annibal Carracci, leader of the Academism, Orazio Gentileschi, Hans Rottenhammer, Peter Bruegel the Younger, Francisco Pacheco, Francisco Ribalta, Juan de Jauregui y Aguilar, Jan Bruegel the Elder, Juan Martinez Montañez, Caravaggio, noted for his figurative realism and tenebrism, Guido Reni, Gregorio Fernandez, Peter Paul Rubens, foremost Baroque history painter and portraitist, Adam Elsheimer, Bernardo Strozzi, Jean de Beaugrand, Johann Lis, Giuseppe de Ribera, Naples-based religious realist painter, Giorgino, Artemisia Gentileschi, Georges de Latour, Jacob Jordaens, Louis Lanane, Nicolas Poussin, the main classical artist of his time, Pietro da Cortona, painter and architect, Francisco de Zurbarán, master of chiaroscuro who made religious paintings and still lifes, Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the dominant sculptor and architect of the era, Antoine Lanane, Anthony van Dyck, portraitist living in London, Diego Velázquez, regarded as the greatest artist of Spanish Golden Age, Claude Lorraine, landscape artist, Alonso Cano, Jan Bruegel the Younger, Matthew Lanane, Giovanni Benedetto Castiglione, Mattia Preti, Salvatore Rosa, Carlo Dolci, Bartolomé Esteban Murillo, one of the most influential religious painters, Charles Lebrun, the leading painter in the court of Louis XIV, Juan de Valdes-Leal, Pedro de Mena, Luca Giordano, Giovanni Battista Galli, also known as Bacciera Baccico, Andrea Pozzo, Johann Michael Rotmeyer, Dutch Golden Age painting and Flemish Baroque painting Roland Savary, Franz Snyder's undisputed master of Baroque, still live from the Antwerp school, Frans Hals, one of the greatest post-Renaissance portraits, Peter Lastman, Hendrik de Bruggen, Dutch realist genre painter and Utrecht Caravagiste, Gerrit van Honthorst, Wouter Krabbeth II, Dirk van Baburen, Peter de Grebe, Matthias Dom, Adrian Brouwer, noted for his tavern-based genre paintings. Rembrandt van Rijn, world's greatest portrait artist. Jan Levens, Jacob Adrian Spacker, Ferdinand Boll, Jan Havik Zoonstein, Leiden School, tavern genre scenes. Jan Davids de Heem, still life artist, Utrecht, Antwerp School. David Teniers, the younger Dutch realist, peasant, Gardrum scenes. Adrian van Ostade, peasant scene artist, Haarlem School. Govert Flink, Gerard Douw, Frans van Mieris the Elder. Gerard Terborch, Haarlem School genre painter. William Calf, noted for still life pictures. Albert Cuyp, Dordrecht School landscape painter. Samuel van Hoogstraten, genre painter. Jan de Bray, Jacob van Rijsdale, Haarlem School landscapes. Gabriel Metsu, intimate small-scale genre scenes. Peter de Fuch, Delft School of Dutch genre painting. Johannes Vermeer, Delft School Dutch genre painter, little known in his own lifetime. Mindet Hobbema, Art de Gelder. Adrian van der Werf, Rachel Royce, important female flower painter from Amsterdam. Rococo, Giovanni Battista Piazzetta, master of the fresco. Jean-Antoine Watteau, author of the first Fade Galante. Giovanni Battista Pittoni, known for Sacred Families and Childs. Giovanni Battista Tiepolo, known for his frescoes, as in Wurzburg residence. Canaletto, famous for Vedutas of Venice. François Boucher, noted for female nudes. Pompeo Bertoni, marking the transition to neoclassicism. Francesco Guardi, view painter of Venice School. Bernardo Bellotto, Canaletto's nephew, depicting Warsaw. Franz Anton Malbech, decorator of churches. Jean-Honoré Fragonard, best known for the swing. Louise Elizabeth Vigée Lebrun, later neoclassical, Rococo-era painting. Jean-Baptiste Siméon Chardin, important 18th century still life artist. Martin Johann Schmidt, important 18th century Austrian late Baroque painter. Jean-Baptiste Greuze, important 18th century painter. British William Dobson, Thomas Gainsborough, Francis Hayman, Nicholas Hilliard, William Hogarth, George Jameson, Godfrey Kneller, Thomas Lawrence, Peter Lely, John Oppie, Alan Ramsey, Joshua Reynolds, George Romney, James Thornhill, John Michael Wright, Joseph Wright of Derby, Johann Zoffany. Neoclassicism. Anton Raphael Mengs, friend of Johann Joachim Winckelmann. Benjamin West, Angelica Kaufmann, Jacques-Louis David, chief artist of the Revolution and Napoleon. Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, leader of the style. Romanticism. Francisco Goya, originally Baroque. Henry Rayburn, William Blake, symbolist, religious painter, printmaker and book illustrator. Antoine Jean Gros, pupil of Jacques-Louis David. Theodore Géricault, Eugène Delacroix, leader of the style.